Good afternoon, everyone. We spent the last hour and a half in the shop again. And I am officially in the 5th truck this year. But it's got a green hood on it. And it's my truck. I'm back in my truck. It feels so weird. Been running Peterbilt and Kenworth for a last bit. The International feels weird to me. All right.
Turn right on 198A Street, then take the first right.
Last time we dropped trailers here, this was just all snow. Today, it's all melted. It was actually raining today. That's right, I got a rock chip. I forgot about that. Okay. I know traffic controller, it looks like I'm turning your way, but don't you worry about me. Just going wide to make sure I don't clip any of these cars. We're in Langley at 200th, the intersection of 200th and 85th Avenue.
Turn right on 86th Avenue.
Yeah, I dropped my trailers here again. Went to Kenworth, moved all my stuff from the Peterbilt to the Kenworth. Not to the Kenworth, International. Once we had moved everything, turning off here. I need your lane there, buddy. It's going to take a little bit for the computer to get used to driving with a heavy load again.
Arriving at Langley Sleep on the right.
That's what I've named this area, because every now and then we come here and sleep. It's my secret spot that a friend of mine gave me. I've been sworn to secrecy. No one's allowed to know about this spot, so don't tell anyone. Okay, it would be nice if you signaled, Mr. Pickup. Nobody coming.
Turn right at the traffic light, then take the ramp ahead.
Nice, they're just getting a green light right now.
Take the ramp ahead.
Ah, the engine feels good. I mean, there's definitely more power in here than that pack car I've been running. Definitely more power. I thought it was just maybe me, you know, switching back to that to the pack car engine. It felt a little bit under power. Now I'm back in here in the Cummins. For sure, more power in here, 100%. Always run the lane out. Don't merge early. Run the line out. Merge on in. The passenger window's open. The little corner window. So I can't reach over there and close it right now, so the window will just stay open for a bit. No, they've changed these lanes here a bit, haven't they? Maybe just in my head. Feels like something's different. But they changed lanes here a lot. It's all under construction. Well, I think this section of highway will be under construction forever. Make this delivery. I've got to remember to put the IFTA stickers on the side of this truck, International Free Trade stickers on the side. Got to put in the transponder for customs, so I got to do a couple of things before I cross the border to this truck. It's all on my clipboard, so it's just a matter of doing it. You know what this means, guys? Jess will be with us next week. She'll be back on the highway for the first time in over a month. The over height sign is flashing, I believe. Yep. So there's a truck in front of us that set off the over height sign, but didn't stop. When flashing, vehicles over 4.3 meters use pullout. It's not saying that you are over 4.3. When flashing, and you are over 4.3, just pull over, because you're not going to fit under that bridge. So that's this bridge coming up over here. Now I know that some of our chip trailers will set that light off. And we've measured the trailers, they're all under the 4.46 meters. But a couple of them set the lights off. So that's maybe what was in front of us. Somebody that's close to the limit, but under the limit. Another thing that can set it off, if you have a tarp that's not snug quite nice and tight and it's ballooning a little bit, that'll set off the sensors too. .4. And trust me, when you're in a big rig, the top of that bridge feels so close the very first time you're in a big rig. Feels like you're going to tap your head on top of it. Imagine if you were in a cab over, even more so. That felt really weird at first. Man, it is windy out here. Holy smokes. Looks like we're going to hit that traffic jam section, so I'll catch up with you guys on the other side once it slows down again. Not much to see here. towards Hope now. See all those pipelines laying out there on the right hand side? All those green pipes. All sitting there for the Trans Mountain pipeline. Now that's controversy, so we won't get into that. It looks smoky. It's like a layer of smoke up there. Weird. It's always an interesting looking sign. Highway 1 this way, Highway 3 that way, Highway 5 that direction. And all three highways can get you to the same location. All different alternative routes over the mountain ranges. Over and through. So Highway 1 and Highway 5 reacquaint themselves in Kamloops, and then Highway 1 and Highway 3 stay separated all the way to, I believe, Medicine Hat, and then they get reacquainted there. So all three highways divide and come back together. So it depends how far you're going and where you're going. Looks like it's open. I think trucks are pulling in. Yeah, 97 yesterday, going over the connector, and then the Coquihalla. Coquihalla was no issues at all. Connector, I felt one time where I had some wheel spin, but really it was not bad at all. Quite a lineup here. The one guy bypassing means he's empty. Nope. Not sure why he's decided to. Maybe he's empty, he just wasn't sure about British Columbia laws. Doesn't know the scale at all. Sees another guy bypassing, going, hey, if he's bypassing, I'm allowed to bypass too. We're loaded. Now I loaded it to make sure we were lighter on the drives. I haven't actually looked at the PSI gauge, I should have, but I'm confident that we're way underweight. Very confident. Because I was just over 1,400. I was getting close to the 1,500 kilograms on the drives when I loaded. It's going to be more here now on the drives, but the bridge and the pup are both 100% underweight, and the drives are the only one that I don't know for sure, but there's no way this truck weighs 2,000 kilogram more than the Peterbilt I was in. We're so slow. We're allowed to hit these scales at 10 kilometers per hour, and we're doing 3.9. Give me the light. There we go. I can see now. He's pulling over. I have 15, so that's about 300, I think about 300, 400 kilograms heavier than the other truck. Yeah, 300, 400 kilograms is still a big difference in weight. It could be a difference of an extra pallet of something or extra lift of something. It could be that. Definitely a significant weight difference. Onward and upward. Time to go over those mountains in front of us. Up the Coquihalla, up the Smasher. We'll do the bear shed, snow shed, the bear snow shed. I'll make sure get video of that. It's beautiful down here too, though. Cruise control, resume. The one thing nice about the Peterbilt rental, I could do 120 on the Coquihalla where the speed limit's 120. Well, honestly, I hit 120 a couple of little places where the road was flatter. So when you're going downhill, you're going slow. When you're going uphill, you're going slow. So I guess it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Probably burn a lot more fuel too, so. Kamloops 214, that's where I'm headed. 7 a.m. unload. I was just editing all these trips, or all these videos from our cross Canada vacation trip that we did 2.5 years ago. Just watching the videos, it's like, yeah, 2.5 years ago is a long time ago. You don't realize how much we change as human beings. I was a completely different person 2.5 years ago. So we always think we know what we want in the future. If 2.5 years was so different than now, how do I know what 2.5 years from now looks like? What's the point of worrying about what 2.5 years from now looks like? Everything you've planned isn't going to go the way you want it to go. Man, it is beautiful out here. Just love the way the clouds and mountains are together. Clouds and mountains together always have that most beautiful look to it. It's like a magical look. So why worry about it? Plan, be responsible, and not worry about it. Life will take care of itself. Just do the best we can in the moment. We shouldn't care about our future. We should care about now, living in this moment, doing the best we can in this moment. Yes, plan ahead. Winter comes, right? You got to be able to survive a winter. You got to plan ahead. vacations are stress-free if you've planned ahead and paid for them before you've even gone for vacation. We've never gone on a vacation that we haven't paid for before we went on that vacation. Having said that, we've gone over budget now and then, and we've had to pay a little bit, but there was never a mass load of debt after a vacation, after Christmas holidays. Don't spend money you don't have. Plan ahead as far as that goes. Plan ahead, plan for the vacation, pay it off ahead of time, stress-free. Life is so much better if you don't worry about today's meal, tomorrow's rent. Plan for it, but don't worry about it. Looks like a Honda. It's a big wing on the side of that semi-trailer. Must be some Honda motorcycles in there or something. Flying J looks like it's got quite a few open parking spots right now. I went in there yesterday to get DEF and all their DEF was down. It's like, okay, forget this. Drove to Chilliwack and filled up DEF there. Yeah, these smaller hills, I don't even notice them compared to driving the Kenworth and the Peterbilt. There's definitely more power in this Cummins than in those pack cars. The 9-wheel BC. Looks like part of his tarp or the front flap is loose, flapping around. And then of course steel is sticking out the back end, not tarped. Oh, he's taking Highway 1. So why pass me then? What was the point of that? I never understand people that do that. Why pass and then turn off? Why? Oh. It was 80 yesterday. Yesterday night it was at 80 kilometers per hour. Today it's 110. Like, I don't even know where my forward flashers are. It's like, where are the buttons to this truck? I haven't been in it for a month. Like I said last time, forward flashers you have to reach through the steering wheel to get. It's kind of obnoxious, and you have to think it through or else it could become a safety issue. Oh, see all those frozen waterfalls? Some of them are falling down, so you're going to have these big ice bombs. Some of the taller ones could definitely come on top of the highway. Yeah, I can see that being a danger during the day as things are thawing out. All of a sudden, kaboom, here comes a whole waterfall on top of the highway. Just under half a tank of fuel. DEF is completely full. Maybe fuel up in cam loops. Esso down there. Man, some of these potholes are big. You can really try to avoid those holes. Hard to do at night. Some of them at night you just go slamming through. Well, that's a lot of lines into the ditch. Someone crashed big time there. Jamie Davis bringing down a wrecked truck. Jamie Davis bought out a trucking company out of Golden, I believe. So they're expanding. I feel like the economy is in this slight upward trend right now, so we might all of a sudden be very busy with loads. Even if it's industries where we don't really deliver to, other companies will start delivering there, which means there'll be a shortage in the industry that we do deliver to. Exit only, but I think we got time before I have to merge. We'll let this truck behind us get past first. He's got cars beside him, at least close to beside him. So. There, now we'll move over. See, lots of time. Lots of time. Is definitely a big rig highway. Lots of big rigs on the Coquihalla. It's the most efficient way east to west, even though it goes north, northeast, southwest. There we go. We're on the Coquihalla. The coconut approaching the smasher. last week, this corner coming up here, the right-hander, going downhill, is where I lost all my power. At night in the snowstorm, all lights, power steering, I had nothing. At least it went automatically into neutral and not into locking everything up. Coca-Cola, Highway 5. And this corner can really throw you off because it's a high-speed downhill corner. If you're not ready for it, in the winter you got lots of crashes here. This rock cut. We'll set cruise control at 104 kilometers an hour. Speed limit's 110, but 104 is the fastest we can go. Yeah, a lot of the snow is melted here now. Reading the sign there about tire chains reminds me I want to throw one set back onto the trailers. I found a set in the ditch, so I'm going to throw those onto the trailers. They're in the back of my pickup right now. Just at a pullout, spending the night there, all of a sudden it's like walking around, it's like, hey, there's a perfectly good set of chains laying in the ditch. Why? So I grabbed them. I mean, I don't have to pay for new chains, but if there's a perfectly good set laying in the ditch, I'll use them up. Save Setco some money. And this is where I did the U-turn. I went back to Chilliwack. Glad there was a U-turn here, because if I had gotten past here, it'd be many, many, many miles before you can turn around again. This is always where I stop recording, and I start recording at the Smasher instead of down here. I just record a little longer. It is kind of a beautiful day out here. Overcast, but it's beautiful. Beautiful. Going along the Coca-Cola River here. Although I don't have much to say. I've talked myself out of words. This building used to be part of like a cable car thing. Up into the mountain. I guess they used it for avalanche control. Yep. Bungee laying on the ground. Tried to avoid it, but I still hit it with a trailer. Those things, Those metal S hooks on the end can go right through a tire, so you got to be careful. I don't know how bungees end up on the highway. I don't understand that. I know you guys have asked that before, and I don't understand how there are complete bungees on the highway. My bungees, the only reason they lose on the highway is because they snap and they break in half, so they're broken bungees. But full bungees, only thing I can think is the guys didn't snug the tarp down tight enough, or they had it laying loose on top of the deck or something. I have made that mistake once where I left some bungees loose on the deck. Which DOT pointed out to me. That's all he did, just pointed it out to me that I had some loose bungees on the deck. Technically that's an insecure load, but most of the DOT guys, or CVSE is here in BC, are really reasonable, nice guys. They're out there just to make the highway safer. I mean, you always have one guy here and there that's on a power trip and thinks he's better than everybody else, but for the most part they're really nice, down to earth, real guys. If you go out of your way to be friendly to them and talk to them and ask questions, if you have any kind of questions related to highway safety or laws and stuff, just stop, walk into the office and ask. Especially if it's a scale that you go through a lot. Make them remember your face as someone that tries. I know a few of them in Castlegar by name, and we chat quite often. Sometimes I pull over and just go in and chat with them, even if I don't have really anything to talk about. Actually, I have a question I want to ask them. The question is, if you're in a long queue, this rarely happens to me, but every now and then, a couple times a year, you're in this long queue of trucks, like 10, 15 trucks waiting to load. And the line moves forward every 25 minutes or so. Can you move forward in that queue with your trailers attached and stay off duty, personal conveyance? Would they give you that leeway? I think by the letter of the law, you'd have to go on duty to move that truck 100 feet forward. But would they be lenient and say, yeah, we understand you're going to be sitting here for 3 hours off duty, you're allowed to move the queue forward? Like I said, that rarely happens, but it does happen from time to time. I'll see if I can remember that question next time I go see DOT, CVSE, whatever. When I opened the hood earlier and checked the oil and the coolant, I forgot to check washer fluid. Hopefully I got enough in here to climb the whole hill. It's kind of messy out here, so I still have 3 jugs in the trailer, so I'm not going to run out of washer fluid, but hopefully I've got enough in the reservoir. Maybe next time I pull over, I should open the hood and double check it. I guess you could do a U-turn here. This would be a U-turn route. Oh, it even says route. Never mind. U-turn route. Yeah, that. That driver looked like he was rubbing his forehead. It's like, uh-oh. Seems like he's frustrated, broken down, likely broken down, but all right. Here's a good little climb here before we get to the Smasher. This one slows us right down. Unless this is all considered part of the Smasher, I don't know. To me, I always considered between Box Canyon Brake Check to the Summit as the Smasher. Definitely a little bit of blue sky poking through here and there. Maybe we'll have some nice sunny days coming up. Plus 5 degrees Celsius. No risk of ice over here right now. I'll be honest. I always say the Coquihalla is not as beautiful as Highway 3, but on days like this, when it's cloudy like this, it definitely has one of those magic feels to it. Okay, automatic, you can do it. He was carrying was 1 power jack. I guess that's considered a load. He has to go through the scale. Like I've seen a couple of drivers with like a toy Tonka truck on the back of their truck when they're running empty. when they have that toy on the back, they have to stop at the scale. They can't use the bypass lane. Up to the top of this climb. I definitely enjoy this much more than city driving. We're going up at a pretty good speed. I'm kind of sticking around the 30-35 kilometers mark. So, but as you saw when we went over the scale, a little lighter than definitely not maxed out. When I loaded, and it's like the order says 36 bundles of this plywood, and he says, "Why are you only 36? Why not 38 or 40?" He just goes, "This is a bit lighter stuff. You could probably take 40." I'm like, I don't know. This is what the order says. This is what I'm told to go pick up. He goes, okay. Which was kind of convenient having a lighter load on a day that I'm switching trucks. No worries, no stress about being overweight. Variable speed doesn't help me any. It'd be very rare that I can't go the maximum speed legally possible. Well, yesterday, last time when I came over here empty, yeah, then I would have gone a little bit slower because but even now, fully loaded, I'm going 85 right now. So sometimes that number drops down to 80 and 60. So I guess every now and then I'd have to be careful. But on days like today though, there's the 80. Never mind. I was going to say, like days today, just hammer down as hard as you can go. I'm doing 86 right now. I'm going to keep it down because this hill is going to slow me much slower than 80. Still 80, okay. We're not quite there yet. I guess I can turn my four-way flashes off if the actual speed limit's 80. I'll leave them on anyway because I know people are going faster than that speed limit. to 85 again. I'm going to keep it hammered down because we're going to slow it right down again. Oh, this is going to be another long video, isn't it? I can't help it. It's just beautiful today. Down to 70. Down to 60. Crossing the Coquihalla Highway, or Coquihalla River here. You know, keep switching from one side of the valley to the other. There's got to be some beautiful waterfalls along here too. Climb this steep. There's some beautiful waterfalls. Someone explained that to me, that a lot of these names, or all these names, out of Shakespeare plays, Shakespeare books, were based on the old railroad that went through here. All the train stops were named after Shakespeare names. So that's why we see so many Shakespeare names along this highway. From the old train stations. Yeah, definitely coming up here a lot quicker. Kind of nice. Coming up here at a faster pace. We're at 54 kilometers right now. Here we go, Box Canyon. Box Canyon chain-up area. Across the river again to the other side of the valley. Right before the chain-up area. It sure feels nice to have a green hood again. the speed limit is reduced right now. It doesn't make sense. Roads are in really good condition. In my opinion, it should be 100 here. Maybe it was slippery earlier, but no skin off my back. I'm going as fast as I can. I'm not getting up to the slower speed limit, but there we go. We crossed the river. I'd pull into the chain up area, but I don't want to lose my momentum. And I don't want to blast through it at full speed. Looks like there's only 1 or 2 vehicles in there, but still don't want to blast through it at full speed. Looks like that loader's got chains on the front tires. Get over the 3rd lane here. No trucks in left lane begin. Once again, we're crossing the river and switching to the other side of the valley. Snow is kind of dirty here beside the highway, but you can see how thick the snow is. They've used a snow blower to cut it out. Ready for the next snowfall. Then we cross the river again. I think this is the last time we cross it. Through the bare snow shed. I don't see any real signs of any avalanches, but with weather like this, fluctuating between warm and cold, I can imagine that potential for avalanches here is getting bigger. No avalanche looks like it's gone over the snow shed yet. Maybe a little small one here and there. You can see a little bit of snow on top of the snow shed, but not much. See, the snow's definitely getting deeper here. A lot deeper. And you clear this snow because this is barely 3 lanes here. A good 5 feet of snow they need to clear out to make that more comfortable. I really wouldn't want to be free wide there with other vehicles. Pretty steep angle here. He's empty. 27 kilometers. coming down this, you got to be pretty darn slow too. Usually I come down at about 50 kilometers per hour. With this truck with the Cummins engine in here, the engine brakes are pretty strong. If I go 11th gear, 50 kilometers per hour, the whole truck holds back without me having to use brakes. It's raining up here a bit. A little bit of a creek here down the road. Oh, snowflakes. Getting high enough that it's not raining, and now it's snowing. And avalanche area. Snowing a bit harder. I wouldn't want to go over here at 1 at night. I think it's going to be black ice with fresh snow on top of it at night. If this kind of weather continues. Luckily we'll be long off the highway before it freezes up. Guy is singling. Is he singling, or is he got four-way flashers on in the front? He's missing his whole front bumper too. He's got his four-way flashers on. Yeah, he must have hit something. His whole front bumper is missing and his signal light's not working. CVSE might pull him in to get checked out. You better have it on your DVIR that you have a light out, and better than that even is having an appointment somewhere to have it repaired, and you may just get away scot-free, but you better know about it. If you say, it must have just happened, I didn't know, good luck, because they hear that all day long. Oh yeah, it just happened. Unfortunately, for a few times when it did just happen, good luck, because they're not going to believe you. Because I've had that happen to me once. Did a load secure, drove down the highway about 60 kilometers to a brake check at a scale, the Kamloops one, and sure enough I had a flat tire within that 60 kilometers. Another front end loader with chains on the front tires. Imagine they're pretty busy this time of year. He must be fully loaded. maybe running a smaller engine than me because he's just got one trailer. Then again, I'm not fully loaded. I got 2 trailers, so a fully loaded triaxle like his could be pretty close to what I am doing. So, could be a similar engine. But having said that, we've had 2 trucks, Sutco trucks, loaded at the same spot, same load, and I was a little bit faster than the other guy because I was running a Cummins and he was running a PACCAR. I was talking to the guys at Peterbilt, and they said right now PACCAR's having a lot of wiring issues. Great. Hopefully if I get that Kenworth in April, it doesn't have the wiring issues. Broken down truck here. I'll merge a little early. Yeah, drop the trailers off. No trucks in left lane ends. That's it, we're to the top. Definitely snowing up here. I wouldn't say it's a snowstorm yet, but it's definitely snowing. Giving him a little extra room by running as close to the shoulder as I can, because I see his lanes are, looks a little small. Looks like they haven't done a very good job cleaning these. But with so much snow, can't really blame them. Speed limit's still 80, but not quite there. Okay, we'll set cruise control. I don't know if they're ever up here to enforce the variable speed limit. Because people are driving way faster than the variable speed limit, so if they do enforce it, it must be so rare that people just take the risk and go faster. Well, from here all the way to Kamloops, there's more downhill than uphill. Well, once we've made this crest here. More downhill than uphill. Yeah, another crazy long video. To think I used to stick my videos down to 10 or 15 minute videos, and now they're over an hour quite often. I fluctuate all over the place now. I just shoot whatever I feel like it. Today was just, I felt like it was just a beautiful day. I just really was enjoying the weather. Maybe I'm just happy to be in my own truck again. I do have to organize it. I should be there fairly early tonight. Should get there probably around 6:30 or so. So I'll have some downtime. I'm going to start organizing, because right now the lower bunk doesn't exist. I just threw everything from the rental truck, everything into the lower bunk here. And it's like, well, since half the stuff is out of this truck, more than half the stuff is out of the truck, I'm going to go through each cabinet, pull everything out and go, what do I really need, what do I not need, and clear it out. Do some spring cleaning. He's throwing rocks. I hope I don't get another rock in the windshield. You know, some of you guys commented about the cracked glass in that Peterbilt I had, the first rented Peterbilt I had. It's like the trucking industry, every truck you see on the highway replaces their windshield most likely 1 or 2 times a year. On average, every truck gets a new windshield every year. That's how many rocks we see. Why once or twice a year? Because these trucks have to be safetied twice a year. You know how your car has to be safetied if you buy a car, if you buy a used car, it has to go through safety and all that. Big rigs, twice a year they have to be safetied. Let's grab a lower gear here as we're going downhill slightly. So every time the truck gets safetied, if there's too many rock chips, the windshield gets replaced. That's why one of the big selling points of that new Tesla truck is an indestructible windshield. We'll see when the trucks come out how indestructible the windshields are. Because that's a huge thing in the trucking industry, is new windshields. You may never replace the windshield in your car. Maybe once in a while you'll have to replace the windshield in your car. We'll get a rock chip repaired here and there. Depends how much driving you do, I guess. But big rigs, we replace these windshields a lot. Commercial vehicles prohibited. This is the first restroom on the highway here from Hope. So you just ahead there's an actual pull out for big rigs and stuff. Another really nice rest area. But this is the only rest area on the Coquihalla, right here, and then the one 2 kilometers down the highway. So if you ever drive over to Coquihalla, stop for a restroom break in Hope. Stop for a restroom break up here if you need to at the summit. Stop in Merritt, and then from Merritt to Kamloops, there's no stops. Do not pull into the Kamloops brake check and use that porta potty. Or it's not a porta, it's like a pit toilet. Do not do it. It's the most disgusting hole in the world. The only most disgusting hole I know. Not worth it. So thanks guys for watching. If you stuck it all the way through to watch the smasher at the end here, you guys rock. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy day, happy day.